Sub-Zero.
Mortal Kombat is directed by Simon McWoyd and stars some of your favorite Mortal Kombat characters, hopefully. This time entering the fight, we have Liu Kang, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Sonya Blade, Jax, quite a bit. There's quite a bit in here. And also, there's one that I wasn't expecting to be in here, but he is in here, which is pretty sweet. This movie is kind of similar to the original Mortal Kombat that was made in the 1990s. It has a similar premise where there are warriors that are chosen to participate in a tournament that is known as Mortal Kombat. Shang Tsung, who is one of the evil bad guys or whatever from Mortal Kombat, decides to take an opportunity to start taking out the champions before they can participate in the tournament. And that's pretty much the plot of this movie. If you're a huge Mortal Kombat fan, you're going to have a blast. There's tons of references everywhere. And there's a couple surprises as well, such as characters that you wouldn't expect to be in there, but they are. So I'd say look forward to some of those. Standouts of this movie, obviously Sub-Zero owns every scene he's in. Scorpion, whenever he shows up, it's just magic. Whenever those two are on screen, that just feels like Mortal Kombat. It's just amazing. Another standout, Kano, just has no filter. Pretty much says anything that's on his mind, and he's great. He's an amazing standout. And unfortunately, that's kind of it. Everyone else did okay. My favorite character from Mortal Kombat has been Liu Kang, and I swap between Scorpion and Sub-Zero whenever I play Mortal Kombat. But Liu Kang was serviceable. He did okay. You get to see some of his finishers, some of his moves in here. Everyone else was kind of, they did the job. They played the characters to the best of their abilities, I guess. This movie is definitely fun, but it has a ton of flaws. But for every flaw that there is, it definitely redeems itself with the fight scenes. Cole is a new character that is being introduced into this movie, and he's okay. He really doesn't do much to serve the story other than to bring you into this world of Mortal Kombat, which personally I think they could have done without. I understand why the director wanted to make the main character someone new. He has stated before that if he were to make somebody else the main character, that probably could have caused a little bit of friction between fans and or just other people. Maybe he will be introduced in the new Mortal Kombat games. I don't know. They did some pretty interesting things with his backstory and how that ties into this new version of Mortal Kombat. I thought that was pretty interesting. It does lead off to a pretty awesome payoff at the end with his character. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's pretty kick-ass. The fights are brutal. There are definitely some very graphic, gory fatalities here that if you have a weak stomach, I would probably stay away from this one. But if you want to see people's heads get smushed in, then this is your movie. It is definitely a fun movie. I highly recommend seeing it in theaters. I would not recommend streaming it. This is a movie that you have to just experience in a theater. It's not perfect, like I stated before. It has its pacing issues around the second act where things just kind of happen and we're just thrown into them. But I forget about all those flaws when the fighting starts to happen, because when it happens, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to see people just getting beat up and all that stuff. This movie definitely delivers on the brutality of Mortal Kombat. If you're a huge fan of the franchise, go see it in theaters. If you're looking for a fun movie to watch, Mortal Kombat definitely delivers. A movie that I would recommend to go with this is my favorite action movie of all time, which is The Raid 2. I would recommend watching The Raid 1 and 2. I feel like the action in Mortal Kombat was just a bit slow compared to the Raid movies. I see those as like the best martial arts movie like ever. Like they perfected the craft of how fast a human can move. So when I watch The Raid and then I go back to Mortal Kombat, I just feel like the pacing is just a little slow for Mortal Kombat. But that's just me. I highly recommend seeing the Raid franchise. Just see The Raid 1, The Raid 2 Redemption. If you like action movies or kung fu movies, I definitely recommend seeing those two. Also, I forgot to mention that I did see Voyagers and Into the Earth weeks prior to making this video, but those movies they're on theaters and maybe you could stream them, but I don't recommend watching them. They're not that good. That's why I haven't made a video for them. But still go out and have fun with Mortal Kombat. You'll have a good time. With all that being said, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification to see all the other videos I got coming up. I got quite a few new things planned for the channel. Yeah, a lot of stuff, a lot of fun things happening. So thank you guys for watching. Have a good night.